Lord Garthon, yes or no? Is there something secret you really want to tell us about? Yes. Shank Mugen, will you be making any more racial feats for the newer races that don't already have them? I really enjoyed the ones you made. I appreciate that. I would love to do that as time and bandwidth allows, but unfortunately, no, I do not. I do not have the ability to make those right away, but maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll add it to my queue. Linkarius, can we please get an update on when we can pre-order Tasha's? No update yet, but we will share that as soon as we have the ability to put digital pre-orders up and live. We will share that everywhere that you get D&D Beyond news. GK Smith LCW, any word on when the errata will make it to the mobile reader app? I don't have an update on that right away, but I can tell you that that is something that is queued up and something that the team will be making happen. So I'll see if I can get a better update for that by next week's dev update. But yeah, it is absolutely planned, and we just haven't gotten there yet. But we will share more as soon as we have news on that. Lord Garthon, any Halloween D&D game plans for you? Yeah, I mentioned that a little earlier, playing with my family via Zoom. It's going to be a ton of fun. Doing a little Curse of Strahd one-shot will be a blast. Let's see, trying to go through the duplicates here. Reiki B, you've mentioned D&D Beyond was looking for developers. What languages, frameworks, and tools is D&D Beyond built with? Okay, so I am not the best person to ask for that. We'll have Dave Hartless on here again pretty soon here for tech talk, but ultimately I know that it is .NET, I guess C#, primarily what's going on there. We use React a good bit in what we're doing, from a front end perspective these days. That's the primary stuff that we're working with. Everything's in AWS from an infrastructure perspective. So yeah, those are the high level things that I would be familiar enough with to provide an answer for, but keep an eye out for when Dave is joining, and he can and he has gone into that a couple of quarters ago, if you can dig that up. But yeah, he'd be happy to go through that again. Murgon, are there any plans to add a feature to create modules / adventures in D&D Beyond, not just encounters? There are plans for that. We're not ready to talk about it yet, but there are plans for that. Knee Capper, any plan to allow more equipment customization, i.e. add or remove AC for armors? That is something that is planned. Not sure when we'll get to it, but it is something that we talked about, and it is on the long list. Aragroth, how is DDB handling the changes to Curse of Strahd? Are you changing the text or keeping both? It's we always ever have the most recent official versions of the text, so there are no keeping both scenarios with this. We are always echoing and mirroring whatever Wizards of the Coast is putting in place. So the most up-to-date text is what you will find on D&D Beyond. Angus.Davidson, will the planned ability to see each other's roles in a campaign be tied to Avray, or is it completely separate? Very excited about this. I wasn't quite ready to talk about it, but I'm gonna say a little bit here. Shared dice rolling is so I'm gonna start here. D&D Beyond team has grown massively in the last 3 years. So we started with about 5 people on the team. And got this thing off the ground, and we launched with about 5 people, and we have a good bit more than that working on D&D Beyond now. We have multiple teams who are working, separately on things like dice. Obviously, we have an Avre team now. We have teams that work on kind of primarily adventures and the DM side of things, and then we have a team that works on character side of things. Not to mention all of the support organizations and teams that we have working on D&D Beyond at this point. And one of the things that happens when you scale in an organization that rapidly, especially in that short of an amount of time, because I think people get the impression that we've been around for a decade, and that's just not the case. We've been around for about 3 years at this point. Is being able to work across those teams and making sure that things are aligned and working all towards the same goals is a challenge. It's something that all companies face. And what is really exciting about shared dice rolling is this is one of our first experiments to try to be closer with all of those parts of the tapestry, all those together. And so I don't know if it's going to be like simultaneous or anything, but we are going to be much closer than we've ever been with shared dialing working, through Avre, through the mobile app, and so on. So that is our goal. Not exactly sure how well we're going to hit that, but we are trying to tie those elements and those threads together better than we've ever been able to do before. So more news on that in the future, but really looking forward to this feature. It really is the first step of what's going to become a game space and that shared play experience here on D&D Beyond. Haven the Hare, why do you hate bards so much? I doth scoff at thine. No, I love bards, so I'm trying not to be offended by the first part of the question here. Love bards. But update on giving inspiration to other characters in the campaign. So fair enough on that other part. This is something we just don't have any kind of concept of tempi effects. So, someone who likes barbarians a lot might be frustrated that they aren't able to turn on a rage and track that too. But that is something that we would want to do at some point in time, and gifting inspiration dice to other characters would be something that would be a part of that kind of effort. But let the record be straight here that I adore bards. So let's just clear that part up there. Babalu 23, you often mention that various ideas and enhancements are dependent on your Wizards of the Coast license. Is there someone at Wizards of the Coast we can contact about this? Is that even appropriate? I have no commentary on how appropriate it is. We live in a world of capitalism, and at the end of the day, community feedback is what makes the demand part of supply and demand work. So if you think it's appropriate to contact whomever, you should be contacting whomever about these things. But yeah, I mean, we are in a partnership with Wizards of the Coast that has license elements to that. So they are, we follow their lead in many of these kind of situations. And so yeah, I mean, any kind of feedback to Wizards of the Coast or to us, these are things that are taken seriously. These are things that are discussed, and these are things that over time can make a difference. So again, I'll let you follow your heart when it comes to that. But no, there is no one specific that I would give out here to contact about it. But Wizards of the Coast has feedback channels just like we do, and I can assure you that those kinds of things make it to the ears that need to hear. ZXDM, hi. The reason why Tasha's Cauldron of Everything isn't available for pre-order yet, and can you share that reason? Yes, there is a reason that it's not available for pre-order yet, and that reason is Wizards of the Coast has not opened digital pre-orders yet. So this isn't just for D&D Beyond. This is for Roll20, Fantasy Grounds. I believe D20 Pro, if I'm saying that right, might be officially partnered for content as well. So no digital distributors are able to do this for pre-order yet. And that is what Wizards of the Coast has decided to do at this point. And that would be the reason. So no, we're not. We're definitely not trying to hide anything or anything like that. We're going to make this available as soon as we are allowed to make it available, and we'll keep everyone posted. Reikio 407, what are you doing for Halloween this year? By the way, you are so much better than the dark mode jokes. I'm not exactly sure I understand that second part of the question. So much better than the dark mode jokes. I feel like I just feel like I'm in the dark on that part of the question. But for Halloween this year, I'm doing a special stream next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. I keep having to escalate every year for Halloween, but this one will be a lot of fun. And we're probably going to end up having a huge family movie night is what's likely going to happen, because no, we are not going to go knocking on people's door and collecting candy from strange houses in the middle of a global pandemic. So yeah, that's probably what's happening with us. Let's see, DM Anvil, do you have any plans to do deeper dives into how to use all of the homebrew fields built within the current process? For example, how could I add a damage die to all unarmed attacks to a subclass? That is definitely a very specific example. And I imagine you will see deeper dives. And I'm not sure and a little doubtful, actually, that would happen during a dev update. But we do intend to provide more and more kind of how-to and tutorial-based content in the future. That is something that we are starting to look into and shift into. So those are the kinds of things that we would do as part of that content initiative, but probably not during a dev update. Let's see. A3 Erdion, sorry, A3 Threrdion, maybe. Any ideas to implement the encounter builder for encounters on the adventures? That is on the list, something that we absolutely want to do. I imagine that's something that we would see if, like, at the point that the encounter builder exits beta, that would be something we would want to get in there before that happened. And so I'm hoping that in the next few months we can put a little bit of focus there and make that happen. Depending on the app as well, that is the plan. There is a little bit, especially with our reader app, we're dates to that, but the existing reader app, it's a little more cumbersome to update that than we would like for it to be, hence the updates that we're doing there. But it is the plan for those updates to the mobile app as well, yes. Bob Lablaw, is there a super basic tutorial in Avre for non-programmers? We do have some how-tos on that, and so hopefully Lauren or some of the moderators can maybe share some of those links in chat. But yeah, we definitely have some tutorial type content on that. We want to do more, and we plan to do more, so you can keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, there are ways that you can learn more. So yeah, I see it in chat here. Someone's blasting some links out there. I believe that we've done some additional work just reducing it and talking about some of the basics and some of our article content as well. So yeah, hopefully we can find a link for that too. Let's see. Reikio 407, are you going to bring back the featured homebrew as an article in the sure? I don't know about the article side of that, but it is something that we will do periodically here on the dev update. It is something that we plan to do, yes. Mirari 15, maybe time for a couple more. Will familiars or pets have options under actions if you have an ability to command them? That should be in the extras section. I might not be understanding the question completely there, so I apologize there. We're out of time for today, so you can't follow up today. But yeah, maybe somebody can help you in chat if I'm misunderstanding something there. And let's see. Bone Graph, what do you think the fascination is with homebrew classes, subclasses? There are so many to choose from. I think that I would hypothesize that D&D players love creating things and love customization and personalization. So I think that even with all of the official options out there, people are still going to find things that they want to tweak and tinker with. And personally, I think that's one of the best parts of D&D. So that would be my hypothesis. I appreciate everyone joining me this week. We're out of time. Thanks for all the questions and your presence. I hope everybody has a great week. We'll see you next time for the special Halloween stream. Looking forward to it. Later, Gators.